So RaptureTok is trending, and here I am talking about the solar flash. Are we just two levels of the same crazy? Maybe. But also, there's a scientific basis for what I'm about to tell you. Now listen, truthfully, I don't know a ton about the rapture. I wasn't raised in that religion, so I've only heard it, around. But basically, it's their belief of ascension, but with a literal lifting up of the holiest among us being risen up while the rest of us are left behind to suffer and die. I think die. Maybe it's torture. I don't know. So then the solar flash is similar, different. The solar flash is a belief that energies from the sun are coming down to transform us in our process of ascension, which is essentially the expansion of consciousness. Now, the interesting thing to note about ascension is that so many different cultures throughout time have their version of this. And so the rapture is just yet another, that at a certain point in human evolution, we are going to rise above, maybe literal, maybe metaphorical. It is about becoming more than we've always been as humans, about evolving beyond our contrast, our hate, our suffering, the evils we do to each other. At a certain point, humanity is going to say, no, we're done with this. It's time to move on. So depending on your cultural lens that you are viewing this through, that will affect your beliefs about what's happening. So to me, it's actually no surprise that all of this talk is bubbling up right now, during Pluto and Aquarius. It is, by many different accounts, the ending of one era, and we are on the precipice of the beginning of the new. The main difference among all of these traditions is how you interpret the expansion. What does it look like? Is it something that happens to you? Is it something that you have to choose and then make your choices continually to be the change? And again, this comes down to your cultural lens. In Christianity, there's just a lot of believe and it will happen to you. Whereas other spiritual traditions, it's about being pure of heart. It is about making your choices. It's about being the type of person who is the change in their heart. They're no longer doing those evil deeds, believing them, fearing them. We talk a lot about fear and healing from that here. It's about being the change. Okay, so I did say there was a scientific basis for the solar flash, and there is, not only from history, but what's ongoing now. In 1859, there was what was known as the Carrington event, and it was when a massive electromagnetic energy, solar flare, burst off the sun. Now, at that time, of course, there wasn't a ton of electronic infrastructure here on Earth, but there was some. And that solar blast not only was so bright that it looked as though the sun was rising, remember my dream? But it did, in fact, knock out all the telecommunications, the electronics, the electrical things they had of the day. This is the basis for those 3 days of darkness prophecies that have been floating around. There's a belief that when or if this happens, we will be plunged into 3 days of darkness. Some people believe it's a spiritual darkness. Some people believe it's literal, that all of our electrical stuff is going to go down that day. Side note for my part, I have not actually received that, but I am tuning in to do a live channeling event. You can get the link to that, you know where. Sorry, I have to be in code. TikTok is coming down on my ass hard. Okay, so the continued scientific basis for that is there are solar flares coming off the sun rapidly. This is not the same thing as the Schuman resonance. This is different. These electromagnetic solar arcs are coming off the sun, and many of them are Earth-facing and many of them are not. And there is wide speculation in the scientific community about what could and would happen should a massive solar flare come toward Earth. Now, what on earth does that have to do with spiritual prophecy? Well, many of us believe that this scientific evidence is proof of what we've been seeing in our visions, what we've been receiving from spirit, that energies are coming to the earth to help transform us, and they will be sent through the sun. Now, for my part, I don't see that we will have bodies lifted into the sky, but hey, what do I know? Now, what I believe is going to happen as these energies come is what's already been happening for several years, because this has been happening. It has been a long, slow process to acclimate us to these energies so that we are having our expansion along the way. It's not a one and done, it's a process too, perhaps leading up to some major event. Many of us have already been through our version of the solar flare. Watch my previous videos. It's me, I'm many people. And it is nothing to be afraid of. Although sometimes when we physically feel these energies, it feels intense. a little bit. Other times it's more of a beautiful, relaxing vibration that helps expand our energy, and it heals us. It literally heals us, transforms our bodies from the inside out. Now, I do have a whole playlist about this called Energy Waves, and I've already done 2 events about this. If you go to my website, you can get that either where? On TikTok, in my bio, or on YouTube. It's in the caption here. The very first Light Circle 1, I talked about this, called Anchor the Light, and my first channeling circle called, what did I call it? The Light is Coming. The Light is Coming is all about this. And then, of course, on September 23rd, the day of the alleged rapture, I am going to be holding a live event where I will tune in and I will find out what the hell is going on. So listen, we could all be wrong together, or we could find out that all of these variations, there's a reason we're talking about it at the same time. Something's about to go down.